It's the Cable
No BAZAAR. I'm gonna start off with his Ragavan. Might depend on what you mean by noisy spawn. You ran a 5K yesterday and set a personal record? Fuck yeah, J Gresh. That's cool as shit. I've never run a 5K. So, most people would follow up the Ragavan with a lightning bolt to push it through. Most people are probably correct. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take Mako and try and wheel Desecrex. We're kind of like self-stipping towards BAZAAR. Maybe do survival stuff. We'll see. If I were to run in a 5K, I would also set a new personal record. Ooh, good point, Muppet Mower. Whatever my record was. I could say that I just set a new personal record, and it would sound like I run a lot of 5Ks, even though it was like just the one, and I didn't finish. I had an asthma attack halfway through, and just new personal record, incomplete. Hey, here we go. Yeah, Party Thrasher and Currency Converter are definitely cards I was looking for. With whatever it is I'm trying here. There's a root wall in that pack too. Ooh, Faithless Looting. Perfect, perfect. This is cool. This feels different. Whatever it is I'm doing. Mono red. Mako. Gotta get my Mako a Flacco jacket to reduce its Thacko. What made me pick Romania for the trip? So we didn't like have hard plans for a honeymoon, but like the most us thing, we see a lot of live music and we really like folk metal and like weirder stuff. And there's some shows and festivals for that sort of thing in the States, but we were kind of thinking that it might be cool to travel to Europe, where there's like a bit more of a scene for that sort of thing. And my wife actually walked down the aisle to a symphonic folk metal band, and they pretty much never come to the States. And I kept an eye out. Looking for a festival they might get announced at, so we can start early planning. Yeah, guess I'll just keep on keeping on there. Anyway, they're native to Romania, so I was like, hell yeah. And then she was a very soft sell. Like, I led with her favorite band, and then I was like, and also look at all these sick fucking castles and hiking areas and culture and food and stuff. And she was just like, in. just the most in. Anyway, that's where my brain's been at the last few days. Oh, hey, what about this fucking guy? I was thinking we were gonna end up like Jund or something. And currently we're just mono red. Yeah, like you could grab Root Wall here, but I think I just want Party Thrasher, huh? What if we're just mono red, loots everything? Relatively less expensive than other places. Yeah, it looks awesome. There was I locked in flights the other night. It's like less than $700 round trip for each of us. And then most like nicer hotels we looked at the various cities that we're planning on were like $50 a night. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. Cheaper than traveling around the States even. Have I played the discard archetype? No. Not in this version of the cube. That's why I thought it'd be fun to try out. It's like a self-stip going on. A lot of beautiful places in Eastern Europe, and a lot don't use the euro. Right, yeah. Yeah, really nice conversion rate. How much red discard support is there? I mean, there's cards like Inti and stuff that we don't have yet. I think I want this Anger, huh? It's a good one to loot away in your mono red aggro deck. I'm usually tempted by Academy in this sort of spot. And then just get a bunch of like artifact critters and stuff. Academy aggro is a lot of fun. Could probably wheel the Anger. I don't know what you would take other than like Raucous Theater, maybe. I'm just going to take it. It's the card I want. Pyrogoyf's sick. This band is kind of fun. You saw them opening? This track has like less than 300 views on it. Kind of wild. So many talented musicians out there. Putting out awesome shit. Here I'm looking at Blood Tithe Harvester and Scalding Tarn. Maybe I should be looking at the Oliphant, huh? Yeah, Oliphant's another discard. If you discard Oliphant, it pumps your party or your pumps your Cam and Ferric, right? Like getting for more damage. Put a fucking 1/1 counter on your Mako. Hell yeah. What about Lion's Eye Diamond? Oh, Mox Diamond is discard. Mako is one or more cards. Cam and Ferric's everything. What if you activated... What if you just, like, played this thing on turn 2 and sacrificed LED, bidding Anger? Let's say you're on the draw, so you have 9 cards total, minus 2 lands, and this and the LED is 4, so it'd be 5 times 2. It's only 13, like 11 damage, I guess. We're gonna grab the Mox Diamond. Mind Collapse is pretty good in mono red, and there's a Frantic Search here. Mako is one or more, and then put that many counters on it. Oh, that many counters. Okay, so that Mako is sweet with LED. I mean, maybe I should have grabbed LED. Could have been sweet. I think I'm gonna grab this Black Cleave Cliffs. Just in case. I don't love Monstrous Rage, but I think it's the pickup here. FOMO was there too. What did I take over FOMO? The Black Cleave Cliffs? I didn't see it. Your song request is gonna be a bit of a mood change. Fair enough, Spawn. Fair enough. Yeah, you said it was loud? Oh my. What could be louder than Deep Purple? Ooh, Carnage Interpreter. Carnage Interpreter and Anger seem great together. Is Screaming Nemesis? Oh, okay. Yeah, Screaming Nemesis would be okay, but very replaceable here. No LED wheel. Pyrokinesis and mono red. It's kind of sick. I don't think we're going to have the black creatures for Hagak, unfortunately. I mean, maybe. You need 2 of them is the thing. Hello. Looking at Clamp, Death Greedy's Champion. Pretty much just those 2. Well, maybe Bargoyf if I was serious about black. I don't know if I am. Yeah, the Bargoyf and Nethergoyf would play well with the Pyrogoyf. I mean, Bargoyf just fits this deck pretty well. Anger in the bin, fucking just get in there. Yeah, I think Bargoyf is better than Death Greedy's Champion if I wanted to play black. Currently, my only black source is this Black Cleave Cliffs. I feel a lot better about it if we had a Badlands. Skullclamp's pretty sick. I'm just going to take Death Greeters. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to take Death Greeters. If I'm playing Monstrous Rage, then Death Greeters is pretty good. Yeah, I think I like the novelty of trying to be mono red. I love Shielded a lot, and obviously I'd be on it. If that's what I was jamming. Alright, I'm very curious what Spawn song request is. Zinli Supreme. I am not Shinzo Abe. It looks like this song is political. Ooh, an Inti. Oh, there's BAZAAR there too. I think the BAZAAR is going to wheel. I'm going to take Inti and wheel that BAZAAR. That's what I'm going to do. There's the Blood Crypt. Could Firebolt. I think I'm going to City of Traders. Very calming tune. Splash Minsk. Could have splashed Minsk. We do have a couple Taigas there, and it would have been a very easy splash. Probably better than grabbing this Monument, but, you know, we're trying a thing. Might as well go hard on it. I guess I'll feel a little silly if I don't wield BAZAAR. Some Reanimator player could have grabbed it. Inti's so good, though. Inti's so good in this deck. The Arena of Glory is nice. Yeah, we got Arena of Glory and Anger. There's going to be a lot of hasters. I hope. BAZAAR did come back. Nice. Yeah, and being mono red, we just get to play a stack of mountains here. So the BAZAAR and City Traders and stuff is all like kind of free-ish. Whee! Thanks for the song request, Spawn. As always, trying to expand our musical horizons. This is not what you expected when I said BAZAAR shenanigans. Yeah, I was originally expecting, like, Hagak stuff. Could just call this a deck. I don't mind having the extra mountains. These are some fine options. Plunder can be pretty good to give haste to. Monument is very new. I'm expecting it to be bad, but it is cute with BAZAAR Baghdad, isn't it? Haste unlock, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 20 months there. You usually count Mox Diamond as a land? You usually don't. I just like straight up don't do that at all, George Monte. I don't know if you're trying to be funny or whatever, but... Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox is the one that I count as a land. You're fine, George Monte. Sorry if I came off a little hot under the collar. I do not! How dare you! I'm the one who says how to treat a Mox Diamond! Is pre-modern still in the contraption thing? It is, yeah. And the deck looks like a blast. I hope it is. We'll see. You heard they're going to have a pre-modern challenge? Yeah, they were talking about that for January, I think. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty decent. How about you, Florent? Will there be Cube for charity this year? There will. I will not be involved this year. Just a bad year for me. But last I understood, Jim had a set of opponents and all that. Anger's so good it makes Figure look good. Hey, Figure of Destiny had a very high win rate in the Arena Vintage Cube, the Arena Powered Cube. The bummer thing about Echo is it does shuffle my Anger back in. One of the best decks in pre-modern is Mass Land Destruction. Are you talking about Terrageddon? I think that deck's tier 2. Or are you talking about you're talking about the blue deck? No, you're right. That deck's tier 1. Just launching in with Carney team. Yeah, Hasty Carnage Tyrant is sick. Stifle Knot seems fun. Yeah, Stifle Knot seemed like borderline oppressive for a brief period in time, and then people just started playing more black decks. And then his numbers started dipping. Sometimes the Stifle Knot decks beat those black decks by then boarding into Parallax Tide, though. We snapping? Oh man, Cam would have been sick here. Do we let them trade a Ledger Shredder for a figure? I think so. They're at 11. Sure. Kind of wish I'd gotten the red Ruwala in this deck. Would have been sick. You're glad they made BAZAAR playable again? I don't know if BAZAAR is playable. This is interesting that they didn't double block here. Isn't that interesting? That's really interesting. I think it's interesting. Do your second song request go through? I don't think so, Spawn. Or at least I didn't get a notification. If you just... Oh, there it is. It went through immediately after you said that. And then you dudes got a song request in before you. Appreciate the donations, folks. I guess I'll mail myself one. I almost wonder if Figure Destiny at Narset gets them to chump it. Awesome. I just hope they don't force will me, that'd be embarrassing. Phew, they didn't have it. There's another U-Dude song request. U-Dude says, this is the band that they went to see. Highly recommend them if they're ever in your area. Lots of energy. This is Burnout by Fury. That's a base opener, huh? Thanks for sharing, Aquidus Killer. Caleb, the cards are better. Probably better for what they're intended with when they was put in the cube. Caleb? Yeah. Probably. It's a very interesting point. Yeah. How bad of a beer am I drinking? Oh, I finished it earlier. Maybe I should open up another one. Only 2 beers left. Let's get this streamer some more bad beer. Come on. It's not that bad. I should get some truly atrocious beer, though. Get some Coors Lights in me. I think this is a Malm. Natty Light? Never. Fucking never. I'm sworn off. Also, Milwaukee's best ice? Absolutely not. When I was in the middle of college, I was in a metal band. And we were practicing several days a week and then traveling on the weekends for shows and stuff. And I eventually had to quit because I was also trying to graduate in 3 years and working and stuff. It was just fucking impossible. But every time we had... If I could play anything out this Mox Time in this turn, but I can't really. I'll just keep my land for next turn. Anyway, every time we had practice, they'd always have a case of Milwaukee's Best Ice. And after the first, like, month or two, I was like, can we get any other beer? Literally any other beer. For the love of just anything. Anything that's not this. The Beast is the actual worst beer. I don't know if it's the actual worst beer, but it's, like, my least favorite. I'll put it that way. I've been drained. Oh, I've had so many Steel Reserves. I would rather drink Steel Reserve than the Beast for sure. Oh, a fun little band. Youngling? I'll fucking crush more Younglings than Anakin Skywalker. I don't give a fuck. Steel Reserve is undrinkable for you. The trick is to have at least three Steel Reserves. And then I wouldn't say that they get better, but you do stop caring. PBR is the best bad beer. PBR, I was like, I was a PBR defender for a long time. Until the hipsters got their hands on it. It became like an ironic drink. And then music venues started charging like $8 for a tall boy and stuff. I mean, now all tall boys are $8. Now that's an actual like good price. But back then it was like, what the fuck is this? Why is my $4 beer $8? What is going on? Rolling Rock is indeed surprisingly drinkable. Very solid for a cheap beer. We can scoop to the wheel Narset stuff. I also like Liney's as far as cheap beer is concerned. Liney's has some good stuff. Drinkable and accessible for the most part. Yeah, fine. That's what I'm saying. I was drinking PBR when it was like priced appropriately. That's how I'd put it. That's a cool tattoo, Simply Cole. What about Killian's? Is that considered a cheap beer? I used to really like Killian's. The issue with it is quality control. Because you like have one 6-pack and you're like, this was really good. And then you have like the next one and it's like, oh, this sucked. What are they doing? English Newcastle Browns like that. Some 6-packs decent, others absolutely trash. How much is a cheap beer in the US? Oh, that's a good question. I think if you're getting a 6-pack for like less than $10, it's probably considered in like the cheaper range. But I don't know. At a music venue, $1 million. Yeah, right. No, like if you just get a 6-pack at the gas station. Guinness has slapped ever since they opened a brewery in Chicago. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they had a brewery in the States now. Alright, what are the odds of this fucking lands, 0%. This is a bummer. Edward 40 hands. I have certainly defeated the Edward. On a Magic trip, actually. Now I get to draw 2 and discard a card. This is a bummer. Just getting like literally everything you play countered. Not a good feeling. Not good vibes. Not good vibes at all. Hello. Tank, Force of Will. I think the tank there is that if I've just got like a bolt for the Katara, then it's kind of disaster for them. So they were thinking whether they wanted to save the Force of Will as protection or... Anyway, it's certainly frustrating for me. Oh yeah, Drew. Yeah, I've never played Wizard Staff. I feel like there was an element of my childhood missing. This BAZAAR would have been so insane with that currency converter if they hadn't done Force of Will. They literally have like countered every or balanced everything I've played so far. If the Pyroglyph had landed and killed the Katara, I would be in so much better spot. They only have 2 cards left over there. Narset found bone shards. I don't think I want to activate the arena. I could get a card here. More than one card a turn. I couldn't get a card here. Happy Cubist to you too, Skatera. Interesting that they're fine losing Katara, because Katara is like drawing and discarding a bunch and stuff. It makes me think that they've got the draw 7 in their hand to pair the bone shards here. And they're just going to lock me out. Which is a bummer. Keg Ball is your favorite drinking game? What does that involve? Well, they didn't bin a draw 7. They just have a Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Thinking if I want to activate the BAZAAR now or on their turn. Because Inti waits until my turn. But they might respond by killing the Inti and then I don't get anything. Echo of Eons entered the exile zone. Huh. It's like big base kickball, but second base is a keg, and everyone holds a beer, and you have to finish it and refill it before leaving second base. Okay, that's pretty fun, a little active. Hey, Padanda, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 34 months there. Inti's so good in this deck. Inti is excellent in this deck, yeah. Kind of fits what we're trying to do here. I'm actually decked before them. Despite the fact that we had like 20 cards when they had 10. No, my Pyromancer. Jump in the Trampler, sure. Remember that they Narset wheeled us this game. And they had that start where they countered like literally everything and had the creature that drew cards every time she attacked. They only have 4 cards left in their deck. Seems hard. If they spend mana to counter this, then they won't have mana to answer the Carnage Tyrant. Think like we got him here, huh? Whew. That was a lot. Yeah, that Inti kind of hard carried, huh? Remember when I took the Inti over the BAZAAR? I was like, this one might be more important. I know we've been trying to force BAZAAR, but this Inti might be more important. Kind of wild. Does Madison still do the naked bike ride? Yeah, yeah. That sounds like my kind of thing. Being naked on a bike. Fuck. Yeah, I was feeling good about the Party Thrasher because it lives through most burn spells. But Flame Slash or Dismember. Let them get in for sure. I think I'm going to Pyromancer next turn. Just like flood the board and have to worry about the Ragavan less. Probably bidding Inti and hopefully another card. I don't want to bin the Lele if I don't have to, but... Well, do I did Naked Spell Slinging? If I'm in my house, probably. You know, any place with privacy is good for Naked Spell Slinging. Like if the bus station has little sides on it, then you can like take one of those benches. Not bother anybody. Or like libraries. Libraries have a lot of quarters you can keep to yourself. Opponent, I swear if you mana tithe me. The zoo? Yeah, zoo's perfect. Just another exhibit there. Isn't that the average for Australian spawn? Y'all get a different rating scale. I was excited to play that Monstrous Rage, but I think this is just better. Yeah. Get you in a sec, Spawn. Appreciate the reminder ping. Leaving the headliner bang to make attacking with the 2/2s awkward. Sure. I got my Arena of Glory. A little rude. Is the attack good is a real question. Oh, you know what would have been sick in this deck? That fucking jump bird that you can play from the graveyard. They have like Oliphant and Pyrokinesis and shit too. Bloodgas? Bloodgas would have been sick in this deck. And Welder? Yeah, I don't know why they hate Welder so much. The zombie bridge is not in the cube, no. Puts at 8. Yeah, I'm a big cat fan too. I wonder if we'll ever get one to keep Dave company. Some older cat that's already good with dogs. I think right now he's really enjoying being the center of attention all the time. The most spoiled little pupper ever. God, they only had 4. We're so close. If only there were a Fire Blast in here. Alright, the second spawn request. This is Wishbone Ash. The king will come. Speaking of kings. Call to complete the hand. Ragavan, not quite good enough by its lonesome hum. Trying to think if BAZAAR or casting the looting is better. I think it's BAZAAR is better, right? We draw 2 and then discard 3. So it's like BAZAAR, but it's like casting the looting, but if I had saved a mana. I gotta discard 3 cards here. God, that's brutal. Because if I could keep the looting and this Cam and Ferric, that would just be a win. So close, huh? So fucking close. Oh, if I'd cast the Faithless Looting, I could have kept Cam and Ferric, fired it off, and then tapped the BAZAAR afterwards. That's the difference there, huh? That would have worked. And then I'm a mana short of playing it and flashing back the looting. Why was I not thinking of Cam and Ferric as an out? I think we're just dead on their turn. Oh, shit, hum. You lead on the looting there, and you get to win the game. Lead on the BAZAAR, you lose the game. Well, at least we found out a reason to lead on the Faithless Looting, hum. I like my reasoning that, like, this was basically just saving me a mana in terms of, like, the actual resolution of the cards. Well, this was a pretty strong reason to do it in the opposite order. So close. Yeah, 1 card, 1 mana. Or just sequencing my cards different. All those would have worked at the end there. Really close game. God, I got them down to 2 life at the end there. Would I like to play first? You better believe I'd like to play first. Got me. I almost want to play the Bombardment on too. So every like burn spell they play deals them damage. I want to get Party Thrasher rolling though. The urge to discard this anger for value, right? I was gonna say if they flame slash me again. Hell yeah. Yeah, bidding anger for value is sick, in my opinion. How highly do I pick Party Thrasher? That's a good question. How highly do I pick Party Thrasher? This track kind of fucking rips. I might draft one later today. Kvoth the Dodem. Today the goal was just to muck around with that sort of thing. The lesser drafted shells. Evening, Kilbin chat. You spent all day playing board games. Now time to watch some Cube. That does sound like a good ass day. Is Party Thrasher a King Gizzard? No, 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 no. This is a no king stream. Just the better half. New infected mushroom track. So I'll check this out. Convoke. The bombardment? The bombardment we played from hand. The convoke only works for non-creature spells that you play from exile. Pretty narrow. Alright, fair enough. This is my first time drawing Monument. We had some long games too and didn't see it. Ideally, we'd get to pair it with BAZAAR or something, but if we don't, that's okay. Next turn, we can make 2 hasty Season Pyromancer tokens. A little scary when they're at 10. The LA Beast, very different than the Milwaukee Beast. First, I was a little disappointed because, like any other mana-producing land, flashes back the Pyromancer for the win here. And I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. Each opponent loses 3 life, looking relevant. Yeah, I haven't managed BAZAAR plus Monument yet. Well, besides just there, but it'd be cool to do it over like a couple turns, see if the value is there, if it's useful. There are some spots where we were just like randoming with BAZAAR to hit like inty cards and stuff, and I think with Monument it's doing something pretty similar. It's like drawing an extra card per turn, basically. Well, the bombardment board in looked really good. The gut was a lot more manageable. We're gonna keep this opener even though it's very slow, because that Pyrokinesis is gonna buy us a lot of time, I think. Why isn't Israeli making a song about LA? Probably because they've been to LA and wanted to make a song about it. Could you understand why someone else might want to make a song about Israel or something? It's a weird question. Best part of LA is leaving LA. I will say, like, there's good stuff in LA. There's sick art scene. A lot of good food and stuff. Just getting around is miserable. The ocean's obviously great. One of my most hated cities, for sure. I'm just passing. Huh. Shit. Kind of regret being Monstrous Rage now. guess I can hardcore cast Pyrokinesis in a turn or two. Maybe we have that Diamond Bang. I almost kept it. Almost kept both of them. Thought there was some interesting choices there. What's their hand like if they're just chilling? They got like a sweeper. They might have like Stoneforge Mystic stuff. They might just like have a handful of removal. This is kind of making it seem like a handful of removal. Why is everyone so aggressive? That's a good question. So I could Pyrokinesis and kill the Anger and the Giver of Runes. I think I'm fine with them using a removal spell on Anger, though. I think that's okay. Deathgreed using the Lelia and pumps it around some. But it's still vulnerable to like Flame Slash and White Removal. I'm just going to leave the Lelia as a 3/3. Pump up an Elemental token. Have another critter that can attack to this Giver of Runes. Well, this whole board state seems weird, such that I like feel iffy about running out Party Thrasher. Like it still feels like they might have like a sweeper in hand or something, and they're just trying to get me to dump everything. I guess they only have 3 cards left. Maybe they're just flailing around trying to buy time. Kind of regardless of what they do, though. I'm just like making the Pyromancer tokens and untapping and getting in seems good. Looks like my instincts might have been correct. I've seen better guys, Cradles. Get my Party Thrasher out of Flame Slash range, I guess. Well, that sucked. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good mind collapse, but can't be that bad, huh? Them cashing in for a creature gives them a man off the cradle. They got a clamp out. Hey, Triplin, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the 110 months. We don't get the monarchy. That's good, though. Fits our anti-king game plan. God damn it. Hell yeah. Carnage Interpreter is so much fucking fun to give haste to. It's like one of my favorite things to do in this cube. Now they're at 3. Back-to-back sweepers, and now they're at 3. You think they overboarded? I don't think so. Imagine if they'd got that 4th off, huh? My deck feels kind of resilient, though, huh? We've had to chew through a lot of interaction. I think we'd rather be chewing through interaction than trying to race with how we're set up. Arena and Anger are putting in a lot of work, yeah. Anger in your mono red discard deck, pretty good. You could save the Oliphant to potentially like get like one more discard trigger for your monument or what have you. I think making sure that you have your 3 mana on time is pretty important with this opener. Feel a little silly for cutting my 2-drop for Goblin Bombardment, but maybe it'll pair well with the Pyromancer, huh? Not 100% which of these I should be jamming next turn. Monument pre-Pyromancer is kind of sweet. I wonder what they just fucking sealed up, huh? Imperial Seal screams combo to me. So I just wanted to Lelia, start max damaging. Kind of regret not Pyromancing, I guess. Oh, but they don't have black mana to reanimate this turn. Interesting. So if a Death Creatures champion Lelia, it gets a whopping like 10 damage in this turn. I think what I'm supposed to do, actually, is just Season Pyromancer and spray a bunch of tokens into play. And then when they Archon, I can sack a token. And then I think Death Creatures Champion on Lelia will force them to chump if they don't have a removal spell. Kind of a huge bummer to not get this Monument plus BAZAAR down, though. If they made me discard with the Archon, I would be able to deal them 3 damage with the Monument and trade off with their Archon life gain. If this is the line, I should have attacked with Lelia first, see what that got. And then before my land drop, just the whole turn there. I guess I do have that instant pump spell that I could hit. It would reward the land drop play, but I just shouldn't have played the Pyromancer yet. Pyrokinesis, okay. Looks like it's not going to matter. Toxic for 4. Interesting. Not what I was expecting. Hell yeah. This has been my big issue with Toxic in the cube. It just matches up very poorly against the red aggro decks, and when Boros is the deck to beat. Ah, fuck this grief. They did end Damnation again. Credit where credit's due. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Yeah, they needed Toxic plus Grief there. And then last card, reanimate the Archon. So this is going to gain them 8 life. They're going to be out of clean burn range. Pyromancer. Oh yeah, BAZAAR Mirror. Pyromancer sacking only represents them down to 6. Wish I had that fucking Monument back, huh? Oh, fuck. So I could clear the Archon, or I could try to kill them. I think I'm gonna put the Pyroglyph on the stack and respond with BAZAAR draw and see if that gives me like anger or if it pumps the Pyroglyph in a meaningful way. And then when it comes into play, I can choose my targets. Oh shit. So now I deal them 4, and now Archon blocks Pyroglyph. They take 2 more, down to 2, 3 more damage. Goblin Bombardment, doing some heavy carrying this game. Like, it ended up being worth like 10 damage or something, right? It was like 4 or 5 on the Toxic turn. Hell yeah. Well, we beat Sweeper plus Grief into Archon. Feel like that's not a normal thing for Mono Red. This Pyrokinesis looks kind of bad. I don't know if it's bad enough to, like, cut for a thing. Robber the Rich. Maybe it combines with something else. Kill a large one. Wish we had some Graveyard Hate here, of course. Every time you face a Reanimator, you wish you had Graveyard Hate. Yeah, his hand's good against Toxic Deluge. It's not very good against a turn 3 Archon. I think I want to develop some threats early on. This looks better to me. I guess I'll bin Mind Collapse. Hopefully that's not wrong. Thought Scour milling Atali. They just have a turn 2 Atali here. They have random Thought Scour. Oh, sweet. We get another turn. And I'm not going to Party Thrasher because I kind of want to see what this Ragavan hits. Oh, they got a thing. Kind of feels like a Dismember, huh? They're trying to figure out if they want to kill the Ragavan or the Lelium. Bitter Triumph. Okay, fair enough. Reanimate off the top. Let's go. Island. Alright, I guess I'm sacrificing all this to play a 1/4. I think we can scoop to that one this game. I don't think we're beating a 7/7. Has the dog arrived? Oh yeah, we've had the pupper for like a week. He's been awesome. Went on a short little walk outside today because it's very cold. But he didn't bark at any of the neighbors. And he's really good on a leash. We've just had him on a leash constantly. Would he let a stranger pet him? Not immediately. His BAZAAR felt good. BAZAAR was good with Inti, and it was good with Currency Converter. And it been an Anger off the top earlier. That was kind of sweet. What kind of dog is it? We think it's half Chihuahua, half, we think it's a Malky. Yeah, he hasn't, I don't know. The stranger pet question is interesting. Like, he was in a house with a bunch of kids and stuff, but then he certainly didn't, he was certainly very friendly to us when we first met him at the animal shelter, but that was also like a very controlled environment. Where he's on the lovable derpable scale. Oh, max love. A real cuddle bug. This is a hand that needs an LED, huh? I wonder if we're threatening a turn 3 kill here. No, nothing like that. They did lose some life to that death. That's kind of nice. I almost want to start with the Inti and then discard to grow the Inti, and then the cam is up to 7, but I'm probably supposed to just grow the cam here. Suppose. Yeah, I wish they hadn't had a turn 2 reanimator. Thought our start was pretty impressive. Hey, a Crocus, that's what I need. Sometimes YouTube just like pulls me out of a fucking playlist. Not a fan of that. I just fucking did it again. Okay, so what do I gotta do here? I guess we'll see what they put their hand. Monk's Pearl Harvester, Island Exhume. Exhume's nice for stuff I actually answer the Traxa. Yeah, I feel like if I pass, I lose, and if I attack, I lose. It's pretty rough. That Manifest token chilling around. Yeah, the Thought Scour randoming the Oculus bin was really bad for me, obviously. I think we would have had him otherwise. Like, if they just turned 3 show until Atraxa, I think we would have been good. But that's the weakness of mono red, right? Giant 7/7 lifelinkers. One of the main reasons that red is benefited by adding white is then you get like a bunch of answers to a giant creature and you can just like oust it or path it or whatever. Whatever the fuck. Keep on getting in. This deck was fun though. Kind of a bummer. I was hoping a trophy. I wanted to win. Yeah, like I said earlier, and very good at grinding through opposing disruption. Very bad at racing once you're put in that situation. Winning's pretty fun. Winning's way better, and we should try that sometime.